In Rainbow Six Siege, there are rules that you do not want to break. That is, as long as you're trying to make friends in ranked rather than enemies. And guessing that you don't want to be blamed in all chat for breaking one of these rules, I've got 15 of them here for you that you do want to know about. And starting off with the first one is something that one of you guys actually pointed out in one of my shorts. And that is that if you have to really go AFK, do not go AFK on cameras. Because if you're in a cam, your teammate can't look around with it, which then could mean that you could potentially lose a round because your teammate can't give the info to your other teammate that might have gotten him the info to win the round. So if you do have to go AFK, always make sure to spectate a player. And the second rule is never reinforce next to a mirror wall. Reinforcing next to where mirror plans to place a black mirror is discouraged because it can block the effective use of her gadget, which requires a soft wall. This limits the team's vision and control over areas, potentially leading to suboptimal defense setups, so coordination with Mira is essential to avoid disturbing her strategic placement and to maintain flexibility in responding to attackers' movements. Of course, there are situations where reinforcing it, especially when it's open, destroyed, punched, whatever, is a great idea, but please never reinforce next to a mirror in the early game. In Rainbow Six, communication is crucial for teamwork, which involves strategy and directly leads to success. It enables sharing vital intel, coordinating defenses like mirror walls and gadget placements, planning attacks, or just simple adaptations. Also, it involves maximizing your operator's true potential and avoiding friendly fire. In short, silence is a liability in a game like Siege, so you have to use your voice comms and actively engage in your team's communication. Next up, we have something that even I find myself guilty of occasionally, and that is hopping on camps when you're dead. Being eliminated in Rainbow Six doesn't mean you're out, it means you're in camera duty. And that's crucial because it allows you to continue contributing by spotting enemies, gathering info. This not only keeps you engaged, but also gives your team a strategic advantage by enabling them to adapt to a situation, avoid traps, or help them plan their next moves. But watch out, backseat gaming isn't something that everyone enjoys, so be careful with that. So remember, being dead doesn't mean you're out, you're simply now a scouter and not a combat soldier anymore, and your team's gonna rely on you to give them the information they need. Now that we just spoke about cameras, we're gonna talk about Valkyrie cams. When you're in a Valkyrie cam, everything applies that would apply in a normal cam or a bulletproof, but especially when being in a Valkyrie cam is avoid pinging enemies because it often alerts them that there's a hidden camera somewhere nearby, then they're gonna look for it and they're gonna shoot it. If you do need to ping something out from a Valkyrie cam, you can use your yellow ping. Enemies can't see that and they won't be notified when they do so, and it also won't reduce its effectivity. Number 6 is to never barricade side doors. Barricading is a great way to keep attackers off or to give you a sound cue when to enter a certain part of the map. But if you close down the side door, the exact opposite thing applies to your enemies. You wanna get out of sight, you need to punch it 3 times and they hear it. You can't rotate out of the side because there's a door, which then gives your enemies also a direct advantage because they know, oh, they can't leave right now, we don't need to hold it, we don't need a cam for it, we can use our utility in another place. For the rare occasion you do want to barricade side, make sure all of your teammates are on the same page as you and they agree with you. Now we got, you need to respect operator picks. If someone excels with an operator, it's most of the time better to just let them continue using that operator unless you've discussed otherwise. Oftentimes people stick with a certain operator because they feel a certain level of comfort, which then also leads them to make more kills, be less stressed, and have a higher confidence in themselves. Just picking the operator might throw them off or even annoy them, which also isn't a good thing for the team chemistry. So just vibe with it, play around it. There's very useless operators in the game except for Blackbeard. And as long as the person somehow still plays with the team, it should always be fine. Number 8 is something very obvious, but it unfortunately happens too often. In Rainbow Six, no team killing allowed. Accidental team kills happen and they should be followed with an apology, but intentional team killing is not tolerated. It might even lead to getting a ban from being able to play ranked or standard. Never let your emotions come through to the point where you kill your own teammate, because that not only means that your reputation standing has gone down, but you're also gonna make him very angry and you're actively pushing it towards a lost game. If you stuck around till now, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It only takes a second and it helps me out massively. Let's continue. Respect the ace. Yes, you have me correct. If a team of yours is getting close to an ace, which is killing all 5 enemies, if you didn't know, let them finish if possible, unless the situation demands otherwise for a round win. Letting them get the ace is a big ego push, and it makes a lot of people really happy, so let's give them their enjoyment. Number 10 is to use your operator's gadget appropriately. Especially in R6, it's essential because these tools are designed to give your team a specific strategic advantage. So proper use can control the in-game's pace, provide crucial info, disrupt enemies' plans, or enhance your teammates' defense or attack. Fucking around or not using them can leave your team at a significant disadvantage, potentially deciding the outcome really early. So make sure you know what the operator's gadget is and how to use it appropriately. Please never ever kill someone that you Caveira injured. Please allow Caveira to interrogate injured enemies to get the most out of her ability. Stealing her kills can literally rob you the most valuable intel you can have in the game because it literally gives you legal wall hacks. I know sometimes it's just unfortunate as both of you shoot towards the enemy, but please make sure that you don't steal the kill unless you really have to. Sometimes in Rainbow Six, if you're not performing as well as you should or you normally would, you are expected to hop on support. So bring that utility like a Termite, Attacher, or Ace. And there is nothing bad about playing those when you're not doing as well as you normally do. Leave the Ashe, leave the Sophia, leave the Damus to the people that are currently top fragging in your game. They got the momentum going for themselves, and you are just going to make sure that the breaches are open, that they have the drones in front of them, and they know where the enemies are, and you plant that bomb. So when you're doing bad, don't be an egoist, always play for the team and hop on that Termite. Next up is something more specific for custom games when you're playing with friends or even face it, and that is to not delay. Avoid delaying games unnecessarily by not joining the lobby on time or refusing to start because you're wasting everyone's time. Of course, this also applies to ranked. When you're just unnecessarily sitting on the roof, you didn't even enter the building, and it's just a waste of time. It annoys your teammates, it annoys your enemies. Just please do not do it. Second last is that you don't have to be a lone wolf. I have already told you a numerous amount of times, Siege thrives off teamwork. Solo rushing often isn't necessary unless it's part of a coordinated strategy. Sometimes you will just feel like roaming alone is the best thing to do, and it might be the best thing to do, but don't have a lone wolf mentality, because in the end, if you're gonna need help, calling your teammates to come help me refrag or come help me there is a guy is better than just dying completely alone on the other side of the map. And the last point of today's video is fair play. While it's not an in-game rule, the community really appreciates players who play fairly, report cheaters, instead of resorting to similar tactics or disruptive behavior that are not toxic, and just have a good time playing the game. It doesn't really matter if your enemies are spamming easy or tell you how dog you are for the 7th time. It doesn't matter if you win or lose a game, anything that you need to put in the chat at the end of a game is GG. So if you ended up watching this video completely, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out massively, and it's also gonna help you to never miss a video like this ever again. So until the next time,